Hey, so glad you're here, friend. Listen, I want to talk about a serious topic that means a big deal to me. Way too often, I see hormonal birth control being touted as a sort of cure all for any sort of issues in the female hormonal cycle. And I really think that's a bad thing, and I want to talk to you today about why I feel that way. First of all, when you're on birth control, your body does not have the proper hormones to have a real period. Did you know that? That when you're on birth control, you don't actually have a real period. But not only that, hormonal birth control actually contributes to your risk of blood clots. You have a higher risk of developing blood clots when you're on birth control. Additionally, did you know that hormonal birth control can change your mood and even make you more prone to depression? And did you know that it can have a permanent effect on your hormones? You may think, oh, I'm on birth control now, and then when I get off, everything will go back to normal, I'll be okay, nothing will change. But that's actually not always the truth. Sometimes your hormones never go back to where they were before. Very sadly, that's the way it is sometimes. You'd think that doctors would check, right, to see if you're more prone to some of these risks. And maybe some do, but in my experience, this has not been the case. I was on hormonal birth control 2 times, and each time, I don't think the doctor actually really checked at all. I mean, I didn't have any sort of test done to see if I had any genetic markers, that sort of thing that would make me more prone to some of these issues. Uh, but what I found out several years later, when my husband and I had several miscarriages, and I had a series of tests done to determine what might be the cause for those miscarriages. It was determined this was not the cause of the miscarriages, but this was just something that came up in the testing, that I actually have a genetic, I don't want to say deformity because it's not really a deformity. It's a genetic. Oh, I forgot the word. Something wrong with my genes anyway that makes me more prone to blood clots than the average person. And nobody ever checked me for that. And I feel like that was really a shortcoming. Yet doctors prescribe these pharmaceuticals to women every single day. And even teenagers are put on them, not because they want to prevent pregnancy, but because they're trying to regulate their hormones. Maybe they have painful periods. Maybe they have acne. I had a friend come to me yesterday saying, what can I do about premenstrual acne? Do you know what causes this? So I did a quick Google search just before I went into deeper research, and I was really disappointed to find that the very first result in my Google search, the first recommendation they gave was hormonal birth control. And I'm like, really? Really? How does this solve the problem? All this does is, at best, it covers up the problem. And at worst, you expose yourself to other issues. So that really bothered me. You guys, taking the pill to deal with painful periods or any other issues in your cycle, it's just covering up the problem. You need to stop working against your body and start working with your body to work with your hormones the way that they were designed to work. So the best way that I believe to start finding hormonal balance is with the fertility awareness method. It's truly foundational to any other suggestions that I can give you. So this is really my first step. The first thing that I ask people when they come to me with questions is, are you familiar with this method? When you understand your body, finding solutions becomes so much easier. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the fertility awareness method, 3 areas that it is useful for, and give you a little bit in just an overview of how it works. So when I personally first started learning about the fertility awareness method 6 years ago, my husband and I used it to prevent pregnancy, and that's the first way that you can use this method. Now, this is not what's sometimes referred to as the calendar method or the rhythm method, and some of the information you'll find out there is, oh, the fertility awareness method, or also natural family planning is the other thing that it's called. It doesn't really work because you can't know every cycle when you're going to ovulate, and you're just playing Russian roulette. You're going to end up getting pregnant. But I'm here to tell you that they're not the same thing, and that there are actually clear identifiable signs that your body gives every single month to let you know when you're about to ovulate. Those signs include your cervical mucus, the shape and the texture and the position of your cervix, and then other complementary signs such as changes in your mood. And I forgot, this is kind of the most important one, I think, your basal body temperature. That's basically your resting body temperature. Now, some people do have issues tracking the body temperature, so that's not an absolutely necessary one, but it is a useful one to have in there as well. So you don't have to have regular, consistent cycles for the fertility awareness method to work for you, because your body gives these clear, identifiable signs every single month. And I will be going into more detail on each one of these signs in future blog posts and in future videos. So because this method teaches you to read your body's signs, your own body signs, it's also effective. The second way that you can use the fertility awareness method, it's also effective if you're trying to conceive. If you know that window, you have a pretty short window every month when you ovulate, and if you know when that fertile window is, it's pretty easy to time intimacy to get pregnant. Now, the other benefit here is that if you're having trouble conceiving, being able to recognize the signs in your cycle, knowing, for example, how long your follicular phase is, what your signs look like leading up to ovulation, how long your luteal phase is after you ovulate until your period starts, knowing what that looks like in your body can help you to identify any potential hormonal imbalances that may be contributing to your infertility. And it's a really good starting point to help you get things on track so that you can actually conceive. And that's kind of a big deal, you know, if you want to have a kid, that's a very, very emotional time. I know for me and my husband, it was really hard to go, you know, from when we decided we wanted to start trying to have kids until we had our son. That was about a year. And I know that it's a lot longer for a lot of people, but you know, every month that you have to wait is so hard. It's so hard. I've been there. I know how it is. So having something like this in your tool belt to make it that much easier for you is such a blessing. What I think for me personally is the best result that I've gained from using the fertility awareness method is this increased understanding, this heightened awareness of my own body. It's helped to remove this feeling of it being frightening or a mystery. And I know that's kind of like how women tend to be conveyed, to be, what's the word that I'm looking for? How people tend to perceive us in like the media or books, popular books, movies, whatever. It's like, oh, women are mysterious and they're impossible to understand. And okay, so we like to have a little bit of an element of mystery about us, right? But we don't want to feel like we don't understand our own bodies. At least I really don't. And understanding how my body works really helped to remove that for me. It was no longer a mystery. I know now why my body is behaving in certain ways. For example, some of the signs that my body displays every month when I'm about to ovulate, when they used to happen before I knew about the fertility awareness method, I was like, what on earth is going on? What is wrong with me? Am I sick? You know, should I be going to the doctor and getting this checked out? I even asked my mom about it once when I was a kid and didn't really get an explanation from her. And no offense, Mom, if you're watching this, but I don't know if she really understood, you know, how all of this worked or not. So being able to learn that, it helped me not to be scared by my own body. And I've heard of women who've gone in for really invasive procedures because they thought that there was something wrong with them, when all it was their body just doing what it's designed to do every cycle. And when now that I understand the way my body works, I can find specific remedies to help balance hormones that may be out of balance, instead of, well, I think there's something wrong, but I'm not really sure what it is, so I'm just going to try this remedy and this remedy and this remedy, and kind of take shots in the dark and hope that something works. I can actually use remedies that are designed for a, that particular issue that I've pinpointed as being an issue based on the way that my cycle has played out in a given month. So in my upcoming free masterclass, I will be giving further details on the method. I will be providing personalized training, which I think is really key to helping you find success with the fertility awareness method. And I will additionally be offering tips to help you naturally balance your hormones, including supplements that you can take for any given phase of your cycle, foods that you can take to help with, or foods that you can eat to help you be at your best in each phase of your cycle. If you would like to be the first to know when the masterclass becomes available, please leave a comment in the comments that says masterclass, and I will get back to you as soon as possible with information on how you can be the first to know when the class is available. In the meantime, I highly recommend that you check out my free report. It's called 5 Natural Ways to Supercharge Your Cycle. And in this report, I give you 5 things that you can do, including some supplements, some other lifestyle kinds of things that you can do to help you find balance in your hormonal health. And if you're interested in receiving this free report, please leave a comment that says supercharge, and I will make sure that you get a copy of that report. All right, that's all for today. Please let me know if you have any questions. And like I said, we'll be coming back in future videos to go into more detail on each of the signs that you can use to use the fertility awareness method for yourself. And I will talk to you later. All right, bye-bye.